Hey, how's it going, guys? John here from DOCasts. In this episode, we're going to go over installing LAMP. And what LAMP is, it stands for Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. It's a group of open source software that you can use to get a web server up and running. Alright, so the first thing that you want to do is you want to install Apache. And I'm on a Ubuntu 13.04 64-bit droplet. So I'm just going to use this droplet as an example. And you can basically use all of this on any Ubuntu installation that DigitalOcean provides. So let's go ahead and let's just dig in and get started. So we're going to install Apache. We're going to use sudo apt-get update. Alright, so we're just going to update everything, or make sure that everything is up to date. So let Ubuntu do its thing. Now that it's done its thing, let's go ahead and get Apache installed. So sudo apt-get install Apache 2. Okay, so we'll run that. We'll just click on enter, and then we'll just go through the prompts here. After this operation, additional disk space, so on and so forth. I'll choose Y for yes, press enter, let it install. Alright, so that's it. Apache is installed. Very simple, right? So let's just check to make sure that Apache is in fact installed. And Apache is basically your web server. So let's go ahead and check. And to check, all you have to do is go to your server IP address, and you can get that within the email that DigitalOcean sent you or within your control panel. So if I go to my control panel, I can take this right here. I'll copy that and I'll open up a new tab. And I'll just paste in the IP address within the browser address bar. I'll press enter. And hey, it works. That means your web server software is up and running. Okay, cool. Let's go back into terminal. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to install MySQL. And MySQL, if you don't know what it is a very popular open source database management system. And to get it installed, we're going to use the same apt-get commands. And we're going to use sudo apt-get install MySQL server, and then we're going to put the library for Apache in there with the mod authentication for MySQL, and we're going to put the PHP 5 in there as well. And let's just go ahead and click on enter, and it's going to go ahead and get everything installed for you. Go through the prompts and just press Y and enter to continue with them, just to get everything installed. And Ubuntu is just doing all of this for you. Alright, so now it's going to present you with a prompt. And the prompt is basically asking you to set a MySQL password. You typically want to go ahead and want to set a strong password for your database management system. It's very important that nobody touches the information that you're storing within your database. Many times it could be sensitive information such as user passwords or maybe user addresses that you don't want malicious users to get a hold of. So go ahead and make sure that it's a strong password. Store it somewhere safe. Try not to lose it, just in case if you lose the password, you may not be able to get back into your MySQL area. And that's slightly true. You can run a command to go ahead and get into it if you're the root user, but we'll go ahead and we'll cover that maybe in a future episode. But that's a lot more advanced. So for now, just set a strong password. For example's sake, I'm going to go ahead and set a weak password just for this video. It's just because I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to destroy this droplet afterwards. So I'm going to set it to something easy that I can remember. I'll press enter, then I'll repeat the password, press enter again. It'll continue running. All right, now it's finished. So the next thing we want to do is we want to activate MySQL. And we do that using the sudo command with MySQL and then install _database. So just like that. And don't worry, I'm going to have all these commands within the code section of DOCasts so that it's much easier for you to access. So let's go ahead and press enter. All right, and it started up MySQL. If you haven't already set a password for your root user, MySQL will remind you again to set a password for that root user and to make it something that's very strong. If you haven't already, use these commands here to go ahead and set your password. Okay, so let's run the setup script from MySQL, and that's sudo user bin MySQL secure installation. And now if you're wondering where I'm getting this from, it's right here. Okay, so we're running it sudo to make sure that we're using our root privileges or our administrator privileges to go ahead and get this installation done. So let's go ahead and press enter. It's going to ask you for your current password, and I'll go ahead and enter the password that I entered in earlier. And then do I want to change the root password? So you can if you want to. I'm just going to press no. But if you do want to, go ahead and type in yes, press enter. I'm going to put N for no, I'm going to press enter. And from this point forward, it's easier if you just keep saying yes to everything. So do you want to remove the anonymous users? I'm going to press yes, just for security reasons. I don't want any other users besides my root for now. So I'll press yes. Disallow root login remotely. We'll go ahead and just yes. Remove test database and access to it. Yes. Reload privilege tables now. Yes. So we'll just keep on doing yes until it's finished. And now MySQL is started. It's set up securely, and we can move on to setting up PHP. So I'm just going to clear this out. And you can verify that MySQL is installed using MySQL -- version, and it's going to give you the version of MySQL that's installed on your droplet. Alright, so let's go ahead and clear this once more, and let's get started with installing PHP. And if you're not familiar with PHP, it's one of the largest web scripting languages out there, and it's used by one of the biggest blogging platforms or open source blogging platforms known as WordPress. And you can go to wordpress.org to find out more information about this. So for now, let's go ahead and just get PHP installed. So we'll do a sudo apt-get install PHP 5 with the library for Apache with the mod for PHP 5. And then we're going to install the PHP 5 encrypt. And then we're just going to press enter to install this. And let's just go yes. And now what we'll do is, just to be safe, we're going to add PHP to our directory index. And we'll do that by sudo vim etc or etc apache2 mods - enabled and then direct config. Alright, so let's open that up. Oh, so Vim is not installed in there. I like to use Vim, so I'm going to install it really quickly. And I'm going to do that by using the apt-get command again. So apt-get install Vim. Okay, so yes. Alright, so it's installed, and we'll just use vim -- version just to check. And if you scroll up, you'll see that, hey, the version right here for Vim 7.3, so it's ready to go. And we'll run that command once again. We'll just use the up arrow to go back to editing that directory index. And I'll just press enter, and it's gone ahead and opened it up for me. Alright, so then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the end of that directory index word. If you're not familiar with Vim, go ahead and just press I to switch to the insert mode, and you'll see that insert mode is right there on the bottom. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit the space key, then we're going to type in index.php, and then we're just going to press the escape button, and it'll take you out of insert and into command mode. And then we can go to index.php right here. If you notice that it's here, then go ahead and delete it. If it's not there, don't worry about deleting anything. And I'm just going to use Vim's D3W to go ahead and get rid of that. And what D3W stands for is delete 3 words. And Vim recognizes the dot as a word itself. So it recognizes the special character as a word. Alright, so let's go ahead and just save this file using the colon key. So that's shift semicolon and then W for write. And you can see that the commands are being sent right here. W and then quit is Q. So we can just append those two together and press enter. And it went ahead and it wrote to that directory config file. Alright, so let's go ahead and just start installing some modules, which are a variety of useful libraries for PHP. You can see the libraries that are available using the apt cache search PHP 5 -- press that and it'll show you the available modules. Depending on which ones that you want to install, all you have to do is sudo apt-get install and then just take the name of these modules here and just append it to the end of this command. So if you want to have the xdebug module installed, go ahead and just put PHP 5 -xdebug and then press enter to install it. Now just go ahead and I'll just install it just for example's sake. Alright, and Ubuntu is going out there getting those dependencies, getting the library and installing it for you. And should you have any other modules that you want to install, go ahead and just do the same thing again. And now congratulations, you now have LAMP installed on your droplet, on your Ubuntu droplet. So the last thing you want to do is just double check that you have everything installed. So what I like to do is I like to navigate to our www folder, and that's basically where you're going to be storing your websites. So let's go to change directories. Let's move out of this directory here, our root directory. Let's display the files using ls. Let's change directories into var, show the files once again. change into www, show it again. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a PHP info file. And we can do that using vim info.php. Open that up and we'll add the PHP info command. So I'll just press I for insert. I'll enter in my PHP tags. I'll put in PHP info and then I'll close out my PHP tags. And now I'll press escape, WQ to write to it. And now if I go to my IP address within the browser, I pen -info.php to the end of it. It should give me my PHP info. If you're not seeing this, go back into your terminal and try to restart Apache. You can do that using the sudo service apache2 restart. Alright, so it just restarted the web server, and then you can try to revisit that page again using refresh, and you'll see that it should be showing up. Alright, so that's it. You've got LAMP installed, you've got MySQL, you have it on the Linux distribution, you have Apache, and you have PHP installed, and now you can go ahead and begin creating and developing the websites as you would on any other simple web host. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and happy hosting.